Hi guys, I'm Andy, welcome back to Backpacking UK, the YouTube channel that's all about hiking, backpacking and wild camping. Right, today I've got a fantastic tent to review. This is the brand new Durston X-Dome 1 Plus V2 tent. Now this is a huge improvement in my eyes over the original. Now I had the original, it was plagued with problems. Those eastern poles, the inserts were falling out. That even happened on my own tent. The actual pole segments were snapping. For UK weather conditions, it just wasn't practical. Had a huge amount of see-through mesh on the inner. Didn't have any solid mesh on the door. Like the pole ends weren't going into the fixings properly. The poles weren't supported by guy lines properly. To be honest, I thought it was an absolute disaster. Now this Durston X-Dome 1 Plus V2 is a different ball game in my eyes. For start, I've got the short pole version. It's so much more packable. It's 33 centimetres by 15 centimetres. Well, I don't have the poles in here, but it's to give you an idea. This, I think, is smaller than the X Mid 1 Solid. So it's a really small pack size, can be stored horizontally in your backpack. I've also got the solid version, and it's a true solid inner. There's a zippable door revealing some see-through mesh, but other than that it's really solid. Still got a fairly low fly. The original was labelled as stormworthy, it wasn't. It was labelled as a 3+ season, it wasn't. Now this, okay, I still wouldn't say stormworthy, but this is definitely a 3+ season tent, and it's definitely more suited for UK weather conditions. So what I'm going to do today, I'm just going to show you what you get inside the tent bag, the new poles. We're going to get it erected, and then I'm going to show you all around it, and I'm going to show you some of those new features that the Durston X-Dome 1 Plus V2 has. So this is what you get inside the Durston X-Dome 1 Plus V2 tent bag. So pitches inner and outer together. I actually love this colour green. It looks really smart. You've also got these new short poles. So they still use the exact same super skinny 7.5mm Eastern Carbon 3.9 poles. I think one of the segments is slightly thicker, but they're really super skinny carbon poles. It also comes with nice DAC pegs as well, so you've got 4 long and 4 short as well. I bought the optional footprint for it, so including delivery, VAT and duty, I paid £494 all in for this. As I say, it weighs 1.2 kilos for all of this. So first of all, I'm going to set up the Eastern Carbon poles. Now personally, these all-in-one poles I don't particularly like. I always feel like they're very fragile, so I'm always very conscious to look after them. With carbon poles as well, I try my absolute hardest to make sure I don't snap the ends together, because they can splinter. So when you are setting up this pole system, just be really quite careful. So here we have it, it's all finished, this all-in-one pole structure. So just going to set this aside. So like I say, this pitches inner and outer together. The inner does have its own separate tabs, so you've just got to make sure the door is on the right side, because it's a solo backpacking tent with one door, so one entrance, exit and vestibule. So I've just pitched the 4 corners of the tent out. Now I can start pitching it properly. So one big improvement is these pole ends now seamlessly fit into the fixings, which they didn't before, which was a bit of a pain. So now the pole structure's up, it's just a matter of clipping the fly to the poles, which is super quick and easy. I actually love tents that use clips rather than pole sleeves myself. It's quite nice to pitch in windy conditions because you can build the tent up from the ground, usually safely. Doesn't always work like that. And then at the ends of the crossing pole here, you've got fixings again just to bring over. It's quite tight, but keeps it nice and taut. Now from here, it's just a case of pulling that fly down to the ground, just finish pegging it out properly. So let me show you around this one person backpacking tent. Now I really do like the shape and the size of the Durston X-Dome 1 Plus. I think it's absolutely cracking. Now what you've got here, which is probably the most important feature on the V2, is this guying point. You can wrap it round the pole, and that guy point is going to help secure and strengthen this pole. Now as you can see already, and I haven't even tightened these up fully, this pole was bulging out completely unsupported. The support's up here, so this makes an enormous difference. But it's got two vents. It's got a vent on either end, which work really well. It clips together really quite nicely. You've got these pullers here and here. You can get this tent really quite nice and taut. These are the new fixings, so the ends go into these fixings without any problems. These are the super skinny 7.5mm Eastern poles, and then you've just got this slightly thicker carbon pole at the top. So the fly sheet material is a 15D seal poly with a hydrostatic head rating of 3,500mm. Now we know seal poly, it's better for retaining much less water. It also dries out a little bit faster as well. It's becoming a better and better developed fabric. So this is a super thin 15D, so just be a little bit wary of that. You've just got to look after it a little bit better, but it is highly waterproof, there's no doubt about that. Now it uses this one waterproof YKK zipper on one side, which has got a really nice feel to it. It still uses these magnetic tie backs, which work brilliantly if it's not too windy. So on the Durston X-Dome 1 Plus, you've got this one vestibule, so it's not like the X-Mid one where you've got a vestibule either side. You just got the one, but it is really quite deep, it's quite steep. You can put quite a lot of gear in this, to be fair, so you've got plenty of space to put like your backpack and your boots in there and do your cooking as well. Now one of the features that I absolutely love, and I wish all tents would have this, is a T-zip. So you can zip it out completely and really open up the side of the inner tent. So as you can see here, it's a true solid inner, and this is the one piece of see-through mesh the tent has. So this is zippable down, so that is your sort of ventilation. But when you've got these chilly breezes, this solid mesh will really help stop the chilly breezes and also retain warmth as well. So let's take a look inside. So I'm just going to use the one door to start off with, zip it all the way across. Now for those people that struggle getting in and out of your tents, you're not going to struggle with this one at all. It's got a really big inner and outer door. It's so simple to get in and out of this tent. Now as you can see, you got full solid, full solid, full solid. It really is like a much better suited tent for UK weather conditions than the old version. So inside you've got a height of 108 centimetres. That flat line at the back is 215 centimetres long. The smallest end is 70 centimetres wide, and the wide end is 130 centimetres. Now you've got loads of internal space inside this tent. You can easily fit a long wide sleeping pad. You can also have in this section here, you could quite happily camp with like a child or a dog as well. So it is a true 1+ person tent. Now on the solid inner version, the bathtub floor's actually thicker. It's a 20D seal poly fabric with a hydrostatic head rating of 3,500 millimeters. So inside you've got features like a huge pocket at the wide end, a little door pocket there. You've got a little sort of piece of ribbon there, so like either lantern hooks, or you can create your own sort of washing line there too. Now one of the features that helps make the X-Dome 1 Plus perform in the wind, it's got the ability to add trekking poles on both sides. So they just slip in here, you can run them down, and it just provides that extra support in windy conditions. Now one item, I don't see why they've left them on in this tent. You had the ability to directly attach the inner to the pole system when it was really warm and sunny. I get that for a see-through inner, but I don't really see the point for a solid inner tent. So me personally, I'm going to cut all these off because I just don't see when I'm ever going to use them, and they'll just flap about in the wind and create an annoying noise. So this is the vent in action. It's a decent size vent, and you've got one on either end. I also really like these clips. I mean, it's a seriously lightweight tent. You've got these lovely little clips for the inner. It's a really nice touch. Just gives you that feel of like build quality. So this is the inner door fully down. It's quite strange. It doesn't go all the way down, which I'm not really sure why. But one benefit I have found of it, whether it's on purpose or not, it can create a sort of like an additional pocket. But as you can see, it's a sizable vent. So personally, again, I think this is far more suited to UK weather conditions. So here's a quick look at this backpacking tent with the door open, and here's a quick look at this solo tent fully open. fantastic for those nice bright sunny days. Now my regulars all know I've got a big thing about interior space. I find most one-person tents slightly too small. I find two-person tents too big. So I'm always looking for that 1+ sized tents. That's why I love tents like the Hilleberg Una. The interior space is fantastic. My Nortemp 1 and other tents as well. This for me is perfect. Now I can even sit on my thick sleeping pad and my head is still not touching the roof of the tent. Sideways headroom, I've got plenty here. It's a really nice spacious tent that's not claustrophobic. I absolutely love it. I really do. I got absolutely slated for saying the Durston X-Mid 1 was quite narrow at the top, never felt like I had a lot of headspace. I found it a little bit claustrophobic. For the version 3 that's just come out for 2025, that has more headspace, so it's higher and wider at the top. So despite getting absolutely trolled for my comments on that, they've made those changes, so I clearly was right after all. But this tent is a true 3+ season tent, there's no doubt about that. With these lightweight tents, if you pitch them perfectly, you guide them out properly, they can withstand a reasonable amount of wind. Stormworthy, why anyone would use stormworthy on a tent with skinny 7.5mm poles is beyond me, but that's up to them at the end of the day. But you can use this in windy conditions if you pitch it properly. But after what I personally see as just a disaster with the first gen, this Gen 2 is just so much better in my eyes. For UK users, if you bought a Gen 1, sell it and get this. So you can open up the whole side of the tent. You know, in summer conditions, we're just coming into this period now. This is going to be an absolutely lovely tent to use. So anyway, I hope you found this tent review interesting and of value. I'm a bit hit and miss with Durston products myself. I think they've all got massive potential, and this goes to show it. You know, if they just spent a little bit more time actually developing their tents and testing their tents properly before they went out to market, I would see them as, you know, a much more reputable company. But this goes to show, and the version 3 X-Mid 1 as well, they do certainly get there in the end, there's no doubt about that. But this tent is an absolute cracker, no doubt. But anyway, hopefully you liked this video. Please check out my videos. Hope to see you backpacking soon. Cheers.